I am Michael Schill. I'm president of the University of Oregon, and this is a wonderful day, and I want to welcome all of you to the University of Oregon, where we are here to celebrate our new coach, Willie Taggart. I am absolutely thrilled to have you on board. When Willie signed the contract to join us, I called him up to congratulate him and actually to congratulate us. And we had a wonderful conversation, and I told him that I'm not someone, thankfully for the program, who will give much advice with regard to football. I told him he has my support. I'm a great fan. I'm excited about it. I can give him only one bit of advice, which probably everybody in the state of Oregon can give him, is go find a great defensive coordinator. And you know that now I've exhausted my knowledge and my advice. And you know, one of the things that I'm really excited about Willie is his commitment to not just having our team excel on the playing field, which is incredibly important, but also equally important to excel in the classroom and to excel in the community. We want our students to grow and graduate with great training and great values, and the values that we all feel that are important to the University of Oregon. And in my conversations with you, I feel you have those values, and I feel that you have what it takes to make our student athletes successful in all parts of their lives. And I'm very delighted that you're here. I'm excited about the future. And what I'd like to do now is introduce Rob Mullins. Rob, as all of you know, is our great athletic director. He is someone who has himself tremendous integrity and insight, and he actually can give you advice if you ever want to hear advice about what the football team needs. So, Rob, would you like to come up?
Thank you so much, President Schill, for those kind words, and I want to thank all of you for joining us on this significant and exciting day for the university. I also want to thank our chairman of the board, Chuck Lillis, and our board of trustees, Kevin Reed, our university general counsel, and our staff, specifically Eric Rodell and Craig Pittons, who all assisted in this important process. A little over a week ago, we set out to find a new leader, a new educator, and a new coach to usher Oregon football into a new era. We sought someone who shared our values, someone who had a track record of success, someone who genuinely cared about our student athletes, yet pushed them well beyond their potential. And we found him. Willie Taggart is all of that and more. Beyond the wins at Western Kentucky and South Florida, beyond the bowl games, beyond the innovative offenses and prolific quarterbacks, beyond the development of his players, the service to the community, and the integration with campus, beyond all of that, Coach Taggart is simply a great man whose values are on display every single day. Coach has a strong recruiting ties to the West Coast and throughout the country. He has a comprehensive plan for his programs, which anchor everything from practice plans to staffing to academic progress. He will ensure that Oregon football continues to be an important part of our great university. A few minutes ago, Coach met with the football team, and I had the opportunity to see firsthand exactly what makes him the right man at the right time for the University of Oregon. With school commitments back in Florida, Coach's wife, Tanisha, their children, Willie Jr., Jackson, and Morgan could not be here today, but on behalf of every Duck, I want to welcome Coach Willie Taggart and his family to our Oregon family.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming today. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. First, I'd like to say thank you to President Schill and Rob and the trustees. I really appreciate you all believing in me and bringing me here to this great university. And I'm so excited to be your head football coach, so excited to get going. I'd like to say thank you to my wife, Tanisha, my son, Willie Jr., Jackson, and little Morgan. Morgan is the best athlete in the family. She's 17 months, and she's ready to go. They're my heart. They're my motivation. They're everything to me, and a lot of you get a chance to meet them when they get here. In the Taggart household, academic is very important, and the wifey wasn't going to let the kids miss school today. And you all will see the same thing with our football players as well. They would not be missing class or anything like that, that's for sure. But they say thank you. I can't tell you how pleased and honored I am to be the head football coach at the University of Oregon. The unique and innovative qualities that the Oregon brand poses over the national landscape provide us with the opportunity to be successful at the highest level on a consistent basis. Prior to going any further, I would be remiss if I didn't thank the University of South Florida and all the tremendous people that I built relationship with that'll last a lifetime. If it wasn't for the amazing opportunity that administration there that gave me, I wouldn't be standing here with you all today. Most of all, the special bond that was developed with the exceptional young men that comprise our football team will be etched in my heart for the rest of my life. I love those players at USF. I know many of you probably want to know, who is this Willie Taggart guy? All right. Well, I'll tell you a little bit about Willie Taggart. Okay, born and raised in Palmetto, Florida, the youngest of 5. Played high school at Manatee High School, great Manatee High School in the state of Florida. Had a chance to win a state championship as a junior, and we lost the state championship as a senior. And to this day, it still eats at me that we lost it. But one of the best things that ever happened to me, and ever since this day happened, my life been going nowhere but up. Along my journey, I had an opportunity to meet a lot of great people who really influenced me as a person and helped shape my career. And it started with Jim Harbaugh. I'm sure you all know who that is. Jim Harbaugh recruited me to play for his dad at Western Kentucky. And I tell everyone to this day, ever since I met Jim Harbaugh, my life been going nowhere but up. I had an opportunity to meet great people. And I call Jim, John, and Joni, my sisters and brothers from another mother. You know, and I had an opportunity to meet that great family. Jack Harbaugh, who I played for, who's my mentor, who's my everything. He is everything to me. Him and Ms. Harbaugh, they helped shape my life and help me grow into the man that I am today. And I'm in debt to that family and love them to death. You know, and again, to this day, I always lean on them when it comes to professional decision or if I need help with anything, and they're always there for me. But I had an opportunity to play for Jack. I had a great career there at Western. We turned that program around, and they was about to drop the program, and we got it going again to where 10 years later we won the national championship at the 1AA level. And then I decided I wanted to coach. You know, being under Jack Harbaugh, again, when I got to college, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. But after being with Jack Harbaugh and learning football the way I did and seeing how he influenced my life and changed my life, I decided that's something I wanted to do. I wanted to coach. I wanted to influence young men and change their life like they did mine. I'm the first in my family to graduate from college. Had an opportunity to meet my wife there in college, and then started my career coaching there at Western Kentucky University. And started my career as a receiver coach, then a quarterback coach, and I became a coordinator really quick. It was kind of took off for me. And but I learned along the way, and things were, again, great for me. I had an opportunity to come out with Jim when he got the job at Stanford. And that's probably really one of the defining moments in my coaching career when I got out there and was a part of that program and understood how they did things, especially academically, was really impressive. And then to be a part of that turnaround to where Coach Harbaugh really got there and turned that program around and been around all the great people there and seeing that they still able to be consistent with that was great for me, a great experience for me. Had an opportunity to go back to Western Kentucky, my alma mater. They were on a 20-game losing streak, and went back and took over that job, and we worked our tails off, and we took out lumps. but we did a great job recruiting and getting that program turned around, and had an opportunity to literally go back home to Florida and coach at the University of South Florida. Again, had to get things right there and turn that program around, and it was great along the way. And now I'm excited, very excited, to have an opportunity to be here at the University of Oregon, a place where I feel like we can win a national championship here, and very important to me in making that move, and there's no reason for us not to. So really excited about me. That's pretty much Willie Taggart, who I am in a nutshell. But now, as I take my next step and compete against new challenges, we will be doing it from a different platform now. We will be doing it from the very place known as University of Oregon. And to be perfectly honest with you all, I cannot wait until this press conference is over with so I can get to work. What can you expect from the Oregon football program as we move forward? Okay, everyone in our football program, everyone that touches our football program will attack each day with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind. Okay, I don't get along with boring people. I don't. You know, it's hard. Me and boring people, it's just hard. We just don't match. It's a different match. So the people that are associated with us, they're going to have some what I call juice. They're going to have some juice every single day. You're going to see that from our football team. You're going to see that from our coaches. You're going to see that from our trainers, our managers, everyone. A lot of energy. You will see a football team that's competing to win a championship each and every week. We will excel with our efforts in the classroom, and I repeat that. We will excel with our efforts in the classroom and graduate our players. I'm going to repeat that one more time. We will excel with our efforts in the classroom, and we will graduate our players. We will build young men of character, exceptional character. We will have a football team that is out in this community and being a part of this community and welcome our community to us as well. And with all of that, we will all, I say all, us in here included, do it all together. I've been fortunate to be the head coach at Western Kentucky University and the University of South Florida, prior to standing here today. We have built a successful program at both places by standing on 3 tenets. Make no excuses, blame no one, and do something. We will continue to live by those beliefs as we return this football program to the lofty status that it deserves. I now open it up for questions for you guys.
All right, before we get started, make sure you identify yourself, get a microphone, and if you have a question for Rob, address Rob. We'll start with Aaron here in front, first one.
Hi, Aaron Fenches with CSN in Portland. When you went through this whole interview process and then the waiting period, because I believe you interviewed last week, like Thursdays for several days, what were your emotions like? Did you feel like you were in it? Was it stressful? Were you excited? What was going on during that stretch?
I was excited. I felt I did a good job when I went in there, so I was excited. I told Rob I'll be sitting on G and I'll be waiting on O, literally. So I was just waiting on O. Hi, Nick.
Welcome, Willie. Nick Krepke, Fox 12, Portland. Let me get this right. The dream is free, but the hustle is sold separately. The meaning of that.
Absolutely. Again, it's you can dream big, and you should, but it's not just whatever it is you dream about. It's not just going to happen by dreaming. You got to get out and work, you know. And I always tell our guys, when wish and won't, work will. So at the end of the day, you got to grind. You got to grind. You got to work in order for whatever it is you want to happen. If you want it to happen, you got to go back to what I say. You got to go out and do something to make it happen.
On the left, Sky.
Hi, Willie. Welcome. Sky Muller, K-Val News. In the opening video, we heard that this university's tradition is evolution. It seems like what got us here today was a lack of evolution over the last few years. We heard what you're going to expect from your players, but how are you going to evolve this program where other universities have caught up to what was the evolution of new uniforms and facilities? How are you going to evolve this program?
We got to continue to be creative. We got to be different. When I look at the University of Oregon, I look at a program that is different. You know, we were different. We were different than everybody else, and everyone is trying to be like Oregon. I tell everyone here to dare to be different, and we got to continue to be that way. And it all goes back to winning. And if you want to win, you got to have some good football players to win, and you got to hold them accountable to win off the football field before you can start winning on the football field.
In the middle, Lindsay.
Lindsay Schnell, Sports
Lindsay.
Illustrated. Hi, Willie. I'm curious what you said to the team when you met with them this morning. Some of them had expressed that they did not believe that Mark Helfrich should be fired, and walking into that situation can be weird.
It was neat. I got a chance to talk to them and tell them about myself and my intentions with our football team, and told them I want all of them to be there. I want to coach every single one of them, and that we're going to do everything the right way. I told them I'm going to evaluate those guys on 3 things: being the best student you can be, being the best football player you can be, and having the best character you can have.
In the middle, second row, Matt.
Hi, Willie. Matt Preem, 24/7 Sports. You said you want to get to work. What's that checklist for you of things you need to quickly accomplish the next couple of days?
Recruiting, and I started that about an hour ago, and recruiting our current players, which is the most important thing, recruiting our guys that's here now, and get out on the road and meet our recruits that are committed to us, you know, and then during that time also trying to put together staff.
Middle right, Chantel.
Chantel Jennings, ESPN.com. Willie, this is the first time that Oregon's gone outside of the program for a hire in a very long time. What do you plan to change about the identity of the program? What is new about you? That was one of Mullen's big things going out there, was finding someone who was different. So what about your different is right?
Well, I'm going to be me. I don't know how to be anyone else, but we're going to go out and do it how we always done things. At the end of the day, it comes back to winning, and we're going to win off the football field. We're going to win, like I said, win in the classroom. We're going to win in the community, and we're going to win on the football field. You know, I don't necessarily know how we did things here yet. I'm going to find out a lot about how we did things, but I'm going to learn more about the University of Oregon and make sure that that we don't necessarily get away from tradition, but we expand on it and become better.
Third row on the left, Kristen.
Hi, Kristen Rogers, KEZI-TV here in Eugene. You mentioned that you want to start building a staff. I'm curious, have you been able to talk with Oregon staff yet, or is there anyone from Florida you would like to bring in? Have you made any decisions on that yet?
I plan on talking to the current staff first and foremost. I really like to sit down and talk with those guys and seeing if they're a good fit for what we're trying to do. I think it's really important that we get the right fit, you know, and that's so important when in hiring the staff. And for me personally, I want to make sure that we hire a staff that's going to capture the hearts and minds of our football players. That's probably the most important thing for me. They got to be great mentors to our guys to help them accomplish all the things that they want to accomplish as a young man.
Right here on the right, Andrew, I'm sorry.
Andrew Greif for the Oregonian. You've taken over past rebuilds that have taken some time, and you knew they were going to take some time at Western Kentucky and South Florida. This one's a little different. They played for a national title only 2 years ago, but there was a lot of work to be done. What kind of pressure do you feel to win immediately, knowing that it's not that long removed from kind of the heights of the program?
I don't feel any pressure. That's our job is to win, you know. And again, I think whenever taking over a program, there's 4 things that have to happen, and 4 things that we've always lived by. And one is a shared vision here with Rob and the rest of our administration, a shared vision. What we want to get accomplished here. And with that shared vision, you got to have a plan. You know, a plan that we to help achieve that vision. And you got to work your tail off. You got to work, you got to work, you got to work. And probably the most important thing is you got to have the patience to see it through. You know, and be cautious when I say patience. Like I don't want to always just wait. You know, you got to have progress within that patience to get where you want to go. And living by those 4 things that have really changed where we've been, and I don't see that changing here.
Right in front of you, Aaron.
Coach, Aaron Fentress, CSN, what do you see as the biggest challenges for you in terms of making the jump to a Power 5 conference, a conference that's loaded with great coaches? You have coaches who have contended for national titles, won BCS games. You even have a coach who went to an NFC championship game in the NFL. It's a different landscape than when Chip Kelly was here. How do you anticipate being able to make that jump and compete at that level?
I think it's going to be nice. I never had an opportunity to have all the resources that we have here. and I got to come and understand the Pac-12 and every team that's in here. But like I say, having a plan put together and recruiting the right guys in here and making sure everybody is working in the same direction to get what we all want to accomplish. And at the end of the day, we want to win a championship. And we got to make sure that everybody's going in the right direction to achieve that.
Willie, Tyson Alger with the Oregonian. You were a 4-year starting quarterback. You've coached a 4-year starting quarterback before, and Oregon has a quarterback who started last year, freshman. What are some of the challenges in developing a guy who started so young, and how do you avoid him having any hiccups in changing staffs?
Well, again, I think first and foremost, again, he's a good football player, and he's got to, again, be, as a quarterback, he's got to be a gym rat and learning. For me personally, he's got to be a great leader, a great competitor, and then got to recruit guys to come out and compete against him. Competition is always a great ingredient to help guys get better, and we got to go out and recruit the right guys and to come in and take our current guys' job, and it's on our current guys to keep their jobs. And if you want to keep your job, you're going to work on all the things that you're struggling with to get better at. And being a freshman, I think there's no better way to get better than by experience and by playing in games. And so you learn a lot from that and try to build on it.
On the left, Ryan.
Hey, Willie, Ryan Thorburn with the Register Guard. I'm just curious, what was your perception of Oregon football from a distance? And obviously you were a little bit closer to it when you were at Stanford a while ago, and what have you learned about this job over the last 24 hours or so that either excites you or you think will be a big challenge?
From the outside, from afar, you're surprised that we didn't have a good season. I think when you look at Oregon, you expect a lot of wins and a team that is physical. I know when we was at Stanford, they were spread out, but they were physical, and they offensively, they ran the ball well and got after you, and defensively, they got after you. So I think that's something that's important in the game of football. And if you're trying to win a championship, you better be physical. You just can't play this game if you're not. And so I think from the outside looking in, that's probably one of the things is just getting back to being physical, but also making sure that you have some really good football players here to get accomplished what you want to get accomplished.
Hi, Willie. Orlando Sanchez, KGW TV in Portland. Just curious, how do you plan on fixing that defense?
Getting a really good defensive coordinator, first and foremost. Okay, the very best one we can get, and trust me, there's a lot of them that want to be here as well. But getting a very good defensive coordinator to come in and help our young men grow, and getting some really good football players over there, and pushing those guys to compete against each other, to go out and accomplish what we all want to get accomplished. But it starts with some leadership and from the DC, and then guys got to be competitive. They got to want to do it. None of this was not going to happen unless our players all agree to themselves to get it done. And they will.
Steve on the left.
Really, Steve Mims from the Register Guard. How do you, in kind of a 2-month first recruiting class, how do you balance out in terms of, do you want anybody who's committed kind of automatically hang on to them, or do you go talk to them and see? Do you look into any of the guys you were interested in South Florida, or what's kind of the motive for that first class?
Well, when this is over with, I'm going to go in the lab and look at every kid that we have committed to us and watch them. I got to see our roster and where we're at and where we need to go and get guys, But planning on looking at every commit that we have and how they fit what we want to do. And they all great. I absolutely want to keep every single one of them, But I plan on talking to every single one of them and making sure that they want to be here too, because I think that's really important to have people that want to be here, But here at the University of Oregon, we don't have to settle for anything. We're going to go out to go recruit the best of the best, and we're not going to settle for anything less.
Front middle, Jen.
Hi, Jen Burley from the Oregonian. 2-part question. Do you have an idea of what kind of defense you want to run, or will you leave that up to the defensive coordinator? And then also, you went from a pro style to a spread offense at USF. What kind of offense are you going to run here?
First question, I just want a really good defense. I don't care how it looks. I want it to be really good. I want to stop people from scoring touchdowns. So however that is, And whatever it takes to stop people from scoring, that's what we want to do, you know. And then offensively, you'll see a spread out. You know, you'll see some similarities in what we've been doing before, but you also see a lot of different things that we've been doing around here before. So it'll be spread out and it'll be up tempo. You know, it'll be fast. It'll be tough. It'll be exciting, for sure.
On the left, Sky.
Back at Sky Muller, K-Val here in Eugene. Willie, you mentioned you're ready to start recruiting. I think another area that you're going to need a little recruiting is a fan base that's started to have a little frustration over the last year when they didn't get the results they wanted to see. And what would you say to the season ticket holders and to Oregon fans out there to bring them back and fill up Autzen Stadium?
Buckle up, because it's going to be fun. We're going to get after it. We're going to go, like I said, recruit the best of the best. And you should here at the University of Oregon. We don't have to settle for anything. And I look at our football program, and the University of Oregon is a national brand. And we're going to go over the entire country to find the best of the best. We only get 25 each year. And that's the limit, okay? And I'm pretty sure there's 25 really good football players out there that we can find to come here that fit what we want to do and accomplish what we want to get accomplished here. You know, but before we go out around the country, we're going to take care of the state of Oregon first. We're going to put a fence around here and keep our best football players here in the state. We cannot let them leave here. We can't, and we will not. Whatever, we got to shackle them up and just hold them hostage here, but we're not going to let them out of here.
Front center, Lindsay again.
Lindsay Schnell, Sports Illustrated. My question is actually for Rob. Rob, I'm curious, can you pinpoint what sold you, on Willie when you were talking? Was there a particular thing he said or the way he acted that made you think this is our guy?
Well, I think it's what you're seeing here today, Lindsay. He's just full of enthusiasm. He connects with players. He's done 2 rebuilds. He's got connections on the West Coast. He can recruit. He can build a culture. He has great relationship with players. Everywhere we turned, all that was very consistent from everyone that we talked to. So, those were the priorities we look for, and the priorities that Willie mentioned here today. The basis is in academics. He's really about changing young people's lives during their time here, and also has a strong belief that he can win football games. We can win football games together while he's doing all the other priorities.
We got time for 2 more. We're going to Hayden in the middle here.
Hey, Willie, right here. Hayden Herrera at the NBC 16 in Eugene. Just wondering, what's the biggest thing you took away from your time in the Pac-12? You're no stranger to this conference, and how has the conference changed since you left?
The biggest, I say not necessarily, what I learned is some really good football here in this conference, really good conference. You got to come ready to play every single week. And the difference is some of the teams that were up when I was in the conference back in, we started in 2007, those teams aren't up right now. And the teams that were down, they're up there now. And that's part of the change that usually happens in football. And again, when I was at Stanford, the University of Oregon was up, and some of the other schools wasn't. We were building there at Stanford to get up, and now Stanford's one of the better teams in the conference. So that's probably the difference at all.
In the middle, last question.
I'll make it a 5-parter then.
You really will.
No, okay. Just 2 parts. First one, a lot of people are excited that maybe you can bring a bunch of players from Florida up here to Oregon. Is that a plan of yours to maybe try and recruit that hotbed harder than anyone ever has? And then the second part is, clearly there's only a dozen or so African-American head coaches in Division I football. How much of a problem do you think that is? What do you think can be done to change that? And does that add pressure to you to succeed, to make sure you can help open doors for others?
We're going to, like I said, we're going to recruit the entire country. And Florida will be one of those states to recruit some really good football players down there and some really good speed down there. And I know there's kids down there that love the University of Oregon and would love to come out here. So we're going to recruit Florida, but like I said, we're going to recruit the entire nation. We're going after the best that's out there. Your last question, is there any pressure on me? No, I take pride in being an African-American coach, we're going to call it. Take pride in that, and I know there's a lot of folks counting on me to do well, and I tend to continue to do well and impress them, and changing it, it's just, everybody's different. I think each individual is different, and the more we get educated, the more we get opportunities. I think you'll see more African-American coaches. But again, right now, I mean, I really don't look at it that way. I'm a football coach, you know, and that so happened to be African-American, and but I want to do a great job for all coaches, you know, for all coaches, and set a great example to inspire other coaches to do great things. Yeah. Hey, thank you all very much, and have a great day if you want to.
One housekeeping note that I have for news media, there have been some inquiries about a workroom area. We have reserved one of the conference rooms in the Casanova Center, second floor. There's wireless in there as well. So that's where I would suggest if you need room to work on site, that's where you go, not in this building.